Hello there, and to all who come to this happy place, welcome. If you're new here, my name is Abby and I upload Disney planning content here on my channel. In today's video, I am going to be talking about the best resorts of 2020, where I stayed, what I liked about it. I did stay at 8 different resorts over the course of this year, and I wanted to put this together for you so that you can use it for your 2021 Disney World trip planning. So, with that being said, this is part of a larger series on my channel every day this week until January 1st. I'm going to be uploading a new video talking about best of something, so different categories. So tomorrow, for example, is going to be restaurants, so make sure you come back for that. And then at the end of the week, I have a super big announcement, so super excited. With that being said, make sure to hit the red subscribe button down below and tap the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads if you are planning a Walt Disney World vacation, because I try to provide all the best planning content that I can for you. So, like I said, today is going to be resorts. I stayed at 8 resorts over the course of 2020. In February, I stayed at Animal Kingdom Lodge and Grand Destino Tower over at Coronado Springs. Then later in February, I stayed at Pop Century. Then in July, I stayed at Bay Lake Tower at Disney's Contemporary Resort. Then in September, I stayed at Beach Club Villas. And then I also stayed at Riviera and then Polynesian in their villas. Then in, when else did I go? And then in November, I stayed in Contemporary in the Garden Wing, and then I also stayed at Grand Destino Tower. I don't think I missed anything. No, I'm consulting my list. No. Okay, so those were my 8. So I'm going to go from the bottom and I'm going to work my way up to the top. My least favorite resort this year was the Contemporary. And so when I say the Contemporary, I group Contemporary and Bay Lake Tower at the Contemporary as 2 different resorts. So Bay Lake Tower is much higher on the list. Contemporary, I have toured the rooms before, but now that I have stayed there, can confirm, not a fan. Part of it was that I was in the Garden Wing rooms. So those are not actually in the main tower of the Contemporary. They are in a separate building. Now, when I say separate building, I mean, it's like a 3-minute walk. It's not a big deal. But personally, if I'm staying at the Contemporary, I want to be in the main tower. And we just weren't. I was there for work with a thing, so I didn't get to pick my room. So if you're gonna stay Contemporary, I would not recommend the Garden Wing. I would recommend a different resort entirely, or Bay Lake Tower. The rooms were very dark and the lighting was odd. So for like makeup purposes and like all that kind of thing, it didn't work out well. It was very yellowy. It was just dark. The Contemporary, as far as I know, is supposed to be getting a refurbishment in their guest rooms pretty soon. So I'm excited for that, and I will definitely stay there again in a couple of years when that's complete. But its perks, the location, you don't get any closer to Magic Kingdom than you do when you're at the Contemporary. It's got the monorail that you can ride over to Polynesian, except the Polynesian monorail is down right now until probably mid-2021. And then you can also ride it to Grand Floridian. So it's got a great location and it's got great transportation. And you can also boat to all of those places as well. Well, if you want to boat to Polynesian and Grand Floridian, you got to go to Magic Kingdom first, but still. Yeah, really, just not a fan of the rooms. The dining there is really good though. We ate at Chef Mickey's twice this year. I'll get into that some more tomorrow, but Chef Mickey's, we had a great experience there both times. The Wave was really good. It's a restaurant in the bottom level of the Contemporary. You probably wouldn't notice it if you've only ever been there for like Chef Mickey's and the monorail. But yeah, we'll get into full dining review type thing tomorrow, but good dining at the Contemporary for sure. Then my number 7 pick was actually Polynesian, which is going to sound odd because I've said before Polynesian is, if I objectively looked at all categories, Polynesian is my favorite resort. The downside to Polynesian right now, which we stayed there in October, the monorail is no longer running. They are doing a complete refurbishment of the main building. Not much had started when I was there last, except for the monorail. And that's a big part of the draw of Polynesian, particularly for me. So having that no monorail thing was really a downer. However, we did greatly enjoy the quiet pool. We were all older. We had a 17-year-old with us, but the quiet pool was great. We didn't want to go in the main pool because with COVID, we don't want to be too close to people. So, you know, like we can go to Disney and we can be safe about it without like driving our risk up by being on top of people just to be in a fun pool. But the quiet pool was super nice, super quiet, as it should be. It's not, I don't think it's supposed to be like a quiet pool, but it's not fancy, like, no, it is kind of fancy actually. But it's like, there's no bells and whistles, you know? There's not like a play area or anything like that. There's a hot tub and then there's the quiet pool. So we did really like that. The view of Magic Kingdom from the beach is amazing. Love that. Always love that. And the beach there, I love sitting on that beach. I have sat there many, many nights until the wee hours of the morning, just because the Adirondack chairs on that beach are the most comfortable chairs I've ever sat in. I have like said to people, we have to go back to the room or I'm going to fall asleep in this chair. So do love that. And then the other reason that it really fell toward the bottom of my list is because it's a very unique issue. It's a me issue. I have a lot of food allergies, and the quick service and table service options there are very limited for me just because of my combination of allergies and Polynesian food in general. So like Hawaiian type food has pineapple and mushroom and gluten all over the place, and I can't have any of that. So it just makes my options very limited, so I don't love eating there. But it's easily accessible to other resorts, so it's okay. Number 6 on my list is Pop Century. I love Pop. I will never complain about staying at Pop. Yes, it's a value resort, but it's fun. I like the theming. I mean, the theming's cute. It's not my favorite theming for sure. I prefer the theming over at Art of Animation, but it's fun. It's not quiet. I shouldn't say it's quiet, but we've never had an issue with noise there. The transportation options are good. The buses, we've never had an issue. And now they have the Skyliner. Skyliner is great. We love the Skyliner. But yeah, there's not a ton to say on Pop Century. It's just pretty laid back. The rooms, I will say the biggest drawback to Pop Century is the size of the rooms. They are tiny. We had 4 adults in it this time, and it was a lot. It was like too many. I would not recommend it for a group of 4 adults. If you were going as 4 adults, I would get 2 rooms, but at that point, I would honestly just bump up to a bigger room category at a different resort. So that's what we're working with there. So my number 5 pick is Gran Destino Tower over at Coronado Springs. Now I'm going to emphasize that I mean Gran Destino Tower at Coronado Springs, not Coronado Springs in general. Coronado's draw for me is Gran Destino Tower. Other than that, it's nothing to write home about, you know? We stayed there in February and in November. And November, it was fully decorated for Christmas, and it was gorgeous. Now, it's also, Gran Destino Tower is just gorgeous, like, on its own, but the Christmas decorations, oh my goodness, like, move that up on the places to see at Christmas time because it was just stunning. We also went to Three Bridges Restaurant, or bar, I don't know, bar and restaurant, I don't know. It was amazing. We actually went there 2 nights in a row. It is a little like on the water bar type of thing. I'll insert a picture or a video or something of our food in tomorrow's video, but yeah, delicious. Their quick service is not currently open, so that restaurant is your only option for quick service type food. You can mobile order there. And so dining options there are limited right now, but that place was so good we didn't care. They also have a really nice lounge up the top of Gran Destino Tower that we really like called Dahlia Lounge. So that's definitely a plus there. Number 4 on my list is Bay Lake Tower. I really enjoyed our stay at Bay Lake Tower. Now, okay, let me back up. I don't dislike any of these. This is just my ranking. I have never disliked a Disney hotel, except I was not a fan of All Star Sports, I will say that. But All Star Sports is not open right now, so not a big deal. Anyway, Bay Lake Tower. Location, this is at Contemporary, so again, location is great. Dining options are great. The big difference here was we were in a villa. So we were in a 2-bedroom villa. Villas are, I'm gonna do a whole video in probably January about the different room types that you can choose, and the difference between like Bay Lake Tower and Contemporary and all of that. So that's coming, but just know that we were in a 2-bedroom villa, which had way more space, had a kitchen, a living room, a dining room. So there was a lot more space to spread out. Which was good because we had 2 little ones with us and you need space to play. So the rooms there are, they're like modern style, but I don't know. I feel like they probably are going to get a refurb soonish, but like they were totally good. I slept well in my bed. Yeah. And we also had a view of Magic Kingdom, so that definitely helped. We could see the castle from my bed, so that was awesome. Other than that, there's not a ton to say on Bay Lake Tower because it is part of Contemporary, so the dining options are good and all of that. Next on my list is Animal Kingdom Lodge. This is always one of my favorites. Every time I do a resort favorite video, Animal Kingdom Lodge is towards the top. The animals, I just, like, you look out the window and you see a giraffe, like, that's just special. You can't do that everywhere. So I love Animal Kingdom Lodge for that reason. The rooms also recently got refurbished, so they are super nice now. Oh, in all of these refurbishments, they're taking out carpet and putting in laminate flooring, I think. I don't really know the difference between hardwood and laminate, so I think they're laminate, but I could be wrong. But super nice. I love the dining at Animal Kingdom Lodge, but yeah, it's not fully open yet. That is something to note. So the rooms that you're booking now are not the rooms that I stayed in. However, the villas over there are super nice too. I've stayed in those as well. The next one on my list is Beach Club, and this one like totally moves to the top because of the pool. The pool is like, it's an experience. Like, you could spend a whole day at that pool. They have like a whirlpool, they have a water slide, a huge water slide actually, a lazy river, they have multiple hot tubs. It's a whole thing. It's like it's a pool empire. It's just great. So we only were there for one night, which was a major bummer. So we're definitely looking forward to going back. Now, Beach Club and Yacht Club share the same pool, so if you're looking for a great pool experience, you can stay at either. The next like reason we loved Beach Club is we had a really excellent, like amazing, incredible experience at Beaches and Cream, which I will again talk about tomorrow. Just know that it was perfect. As someone with allergies, like, I've never had a better experience. Then the location of Beach Club is also great. You're in walking distance to Epcot and Hollywood Studios and the Skyliner. If you wanted to walk over to Epcot, you would also be able to get on a Skyliner there. So let's see, what else did I like there? Just the overall feeling, just great. I don't have any complaints about Beach Club. The next number 1 on my list for the year was Riviera. Riviera is only about a year old. It opened just over a year ago, and it was then closed for like 4 months, so that hardly counts. But Riviera has a really great location. It's like a 5-minute Skyliner ride over to Epcot, and then you can take the Skyliner over to Hollywood Studios. You just have to change at Caribbean Beach, so that's also super convenient. The location's not as good as like Beach Club, Yacht Club, Boardwalk, or the monorail resorts, but it's still a really good location. Oh, let's circle back to Animal Kingdom Lodge for a second. The downside of Animal Kingdom Lodge is it's far away from everything except Animal Kingdom. It's like not easy to get anywhere unless you like Uber. So that's something to keep in mind. Okay, back to Riviera. The quick service restaurant there was super good. They have like fancy quick service, so you don't feel like you're eating quick service food, which is always good. We were in a 2-bedroom villa there as well, and they were gorgeous, like so pretty. The only complaint that I have about Riviera is that the pool was not super impressive. We actually didn't even feel the need to go swimming there because the pool wasn't anything special. Now keep in mind, like, we checked into Riviera the day we checked out of beach club, so, but yeah, the pool was, it was a perfectly nice pool, but just not anything like beach club. Not that we were expecting it to be like beach club, but you know, it's just hard to go from one to the other. Yeah, so that is my list for you of the best resorts that I stayed in 2020, that are ranking all the resorts I stayed in 2020. Hopefully this is helpful to you as you're planning your 2021 vacation. Keep in mind, we do not have resort opening dates for All-Star Music, All-Star Sports, Port Orleans French Quarter, or Port Orleans Riverside, or regular Animal Kingdom Lodge. We just got one for Wilderness Lodge and Beach Club, and one more, and All-Star Movies, the date moved. So the opening of All-Star Movies has been pushed back by a couple months. But you can't book any resort that doesn't have a reopening date. So keep that in mind. Your top choice may not be open yet. I love Port Orleans French Quarter. I'm in need of a beignet, but I don't know when we're gonna get one of those. So with that being said, and all of those, you know, talking points regarding different resorts, I hope you'll join me again tomorrow for the best restaurants of 2020. Now, for the rest of the categories, I have 10 things. I only stayed at 8 hotels, so I only wanted to rank things that I had done this year. So tomorrow we'll be talking about 10 different restaurants and what I liked or didn't like about them and all of that good stuff. So with that being said, if you have not already, hit the red subscribe button down below and tap the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. See you tomorrow. Bye.